All systems are a go.
Confirming all systems are a go. Launching the podcast.
3, 2, 1.
This is Hello from Mars.
Yeah, here we go. Back for round 2. Fight. No fighting. No fighting. It's just another episode of Hello from Mars. Back in the basement, and here we go. I was really excited to get the first episode out, and rightfully so, because I think you guys were just as excited based on the feedback that I was getting. Thank you so much for taking the time to either watch or listen. We're now officially on like a bazillion platforms. I may be over-exaggerating, but we're definitely on a whole lot of places for you to go ahead and listen, which is like awesome. I love the fact that it's like almost anywhere you look, boom, there it is. So it's really cool, and I'm glad to have you guys with us. Don't forget to be checking out the socials, so just search Hello from Mars podcast. Bonus stuff is always up there, and yeah, we're just having some fun. So I wanted to throw this out at you guys because I was binging Fear the Walking Dead. I feel like we're in the middle of this pandemic. You never know what's going to happen, right? And then I was online, and then I saw a story about zombie minks, and I'm not kidding. This is like the most uncomfortable story that could possibly come out in 2020, because it was like this time last year, right, that we started hearing about the coronavirus and COVID-19 and whatever, and we're all just like, yeah, okay. I mean, I remember making jokes about it back in February, so jokes on me, really. But so I don't want to joke about zombie minks. I just want to make you aware of them. And they're currently in Denmark, so they're kind of a distance, at least from us in the States. But it's not just a couple. It was like 17 million. And I mean, I'm not going to go into super details because it kind of freaks me out. But if you do a Google search, it's on like legit sites. So it's like CBS News and stuff. So just know that's out there. And if you want to get some tips about the potential impending zombie apocalypse, head over to your local streaming channels of Hulu or Netflix, and, you know, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead gives us a good idea of how this all starts. So I'm laughing, but I'm scared. So let's just get into Tops and Pop this week, okay?
Tops in Pop.
Like, I don't even know how to feel right now when it comes to that stuff, you know? It's like anything can happen. Murder hornets, zombie minks. Haven't we had enough yet? Come on. So Kelly Clarkson, she's also kind of like a casualty of 2020, at least her marriage is. And it looks like, you know, this has been getting messier and messier every time we turn around. And she's like my ultimate, by the way, like ultimate female singer. Like, I have seen her a million times. I've had the pleasure of being able to meet her on multiple occasions. She's exactly who she is on TV in person. She is super incredibly down to earth, and you know, she'll talk your ear off if they'll let her, which they never ever do. They always have to pull her away or you away or whatever. But besides the point, getting off topic. So her divorce from Brandon Blackstock has just been getting messier as the days go on. And back in like June or July, she was really trying to enforce the prenup. Why it isn't automatically enforced, I don't really understand, but whatever. So she, as of the other day, it is said that she has primary custody. The kids really only know living in Los Angeles, so that's where she is. Brandon's planning on being at their like cabin or whatever in Montana, and the judge was just kind of like, yeah, they don't really know Montana very well, Brandon. So Kelly gets primary custody. But this is what the kicker is. And, you know, Bill and I were kind of hitting on this in the first episode of the podcast, where it's like, you've got this whole like child custody and like spousal support and whatever. Brandon is asking for $436,000 a month. And that's supposed to include child support for children he is not going to have primary custody of. What in the world? I can't make any sense of it. But he's just been very unreasonable, apparently. He, by the way, is worth $10 million on his own, so I don't know why he claims to need all this extra cash. But I guess if you can get it, try, you know. But yeah, he's got $2 million that he's already asked for in attorney fees. By the way, 7 attorneys. Maybe it's one for each year they were married. I don't know. Seems a little absurd, but we'll see how that continues to kind of go out. I know Kelly Clarkson didn't want to get divorced, but she even said on her talk show the other day, like, she realized this isn't happiness. So why stay in something and like show that to my children we need to kind of move forward and get to happy. So I don't blame her. Anybody that was anybody during this pandemic has binge watched Tiger King, and why it's still in the news, I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So Carol Baskins, she has her big cat animal rescue that is in Tampa, and apparently it was around feeding time recently, and one of the longtime employees that they have going to go feed one of those big cats. And they took out a big bite on her arm, but I'm making notes to feed my cat early today. That's all I'm saying. So I am going to be having some stories popping up in a little bit when it comes to horrible job interviews, including one that I had recently. So that's going to be coming up within about 15 minutes or so. But I've got to get in our guests, Kelly and Laurie. I have known these ladies for a while, and well, they're a little cray, and they're a lot of fun, and they're coming up right now.
I let her get some questions.
You did. I watched you actually hold off on squeaking. Yeah, no, that was nice.
Fast enough.
That was very kind of you. So I want to introduce Laurie and Kelly officially.
Hello.
Whether you are watching this first or listening to this first, or you have popped on here because you saw the ridiculous attempt at trivia. Thank you for joining the podcast, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is great.
So I have interesting, I feel like, encounters with both of you as to how we met. So Kelly was my student at the radio school back in 2007?
Yeah, I think so.
You're right. That was a really
long
long time ago.
I was like, I don't even remember what year it was.
Well, Kelly's obviously followed through on the radio stuff.
I did it. For a little while, I did.
You did. You had so much that, potential where you could have probably been, the next Delilah. And instead you were like, I want to be a housewife.
And guess what? I am no longer a housewife either.
But you did reach that goal there for a minute, so that was good. That was
Thank
good.
you.
So congratulations. I'll pat you on the back.
Thank you.
Laurie, you were super, super country fan. Yes.
Yes.
And then super me fan. Thank you.
Super you fan. Followed you all over.
And super supportive. So I really appreciate that. And it turns out the two of you are besties.
Pretty much.
So here we all are now, and we're all friends. So I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
But I know that this year has been very, very crazy for a lot of people. You are two people, though, unlike myself, you both have stayed employed, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you explain, we'll start with Kelly, what each of you do?
I am currently working for the technology department of a school.
Okay. And Laurie?
I work retail. Actually, I'm a produce buyer supervisor. Do you want me to tell the name of the place?
No, you do not have to.
Okay,
Unless they plan on sponsoring the podcast.
Hey, I can
The
help
answer
you
is
up.
no.
Let me see what I can do. I got you.
Hey, I'm all for it. So I know in both of those instances, because this whole period has been different for everybody, but for people who have been working, y'all are getting some real funny stories from what I have experienced and what I've heard. So, you're already what are some of what's been the craziest thing that you can think of that has happened for you in just working in retail, or just maybe the industry that you're in?
It's mostly the mask thing.
Yeah.
People are going crazy because they say it's, well, I have an allergy, or I can't have the mask on because I have medical issues and all this stuff.
I thought you were going to say menopause.
No, not menopause. Medical. Just trying to get medical out.
Because I've had menopause and I'm sweating. I've got hot flashes.
So hot.
Hot flashes.
And then-
So hot.
I thought you were light enough to do that. Here, ready?
Hold on. Blooper reel. No, I'll just go get another one.
What? Another on the same thing?
Same thing.
I'll just not put all my weight on it, ladies.
Oh my God.
Oh, these shoe things aren't built like they're supposed to.
They're just for shoes. Let's take another one. Here we go. Cheers.
Hey, I've got another
To
one.
a hell of a shoe rack.
To a hell of a shoe rack.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Okay. I think, am I right back where I was?
I'm nervous.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
All right,
As you were.
Everything's fine.
Menopause.
Menopause, yes. Menopause, medical.
That's exactly where we were.
And then them coming in and not wearing the masks right. and you try to explain to them, just pull it up over your nose. They just don't. Or they're trying to read something and they pull the whole mask down. And they're trying to read like something on the back of like a package, and you're like, you don't need to pull your mask.
You know what I've seen is
You can't hear.
Yeah, I know.
right. Somebody went to sneeze and they pulled their mask down. It's like, you are defeating. You are the problem, sir.
Yep.
You're the problem.
Seen that.
She's got, I feel like, the norm.
I'm the norm.
You've got the Zoom.
Well, I mean, I don't do the Zoom. I am an in-person person.
Okay.
So if like people are having, so these kids at home are having issues with their Chromebook, aka, oh, my internet probably doesn't work, or oh, I think I plugged it into an outlet that doesn't work. But like, guess what? It still works in real life.
Well, you were telling me about a story. I think, when was I at your house? What party was that?
Oh, the real life penis. Right? Is that what you're talking about? I have so many stories, I just don't know.
Yeah, that I would like you to tell us.
Okay, cool.
Tell
I'll
us
do that.
that experience.
All right. So if you are familiar with Google Meets, you can just have a login. You like, oh, whatever your email is at gmail.com or whatever. So a child, which I don't know who, still to this day, I don't know. Very smart, apparently, created an email address as a teacher's name. And then this other teacher was like, oh, well, clearly.
Just please take notice of this if there are any faculty members that are listening or watching right now. Maybe be a little bit more suspicious or cautious or incognito with your emails.
Yeah, so this other teacher had to accept this quote-unquote teacher to be a part of this meet. Well, when they accepted it, it was just real-life penis on the screen. And
what age group are we dealing with here?
I think it was high school, 100% high school. So it could have been anyone's real-life penis. I'm not sure. That's all I got on that one. I don't know. So the principal came, or assistant principal came and like was telling me this story, and I literally was losing it. I could not handle it. And he's not someone that would be like, penis, you know? I don't think I've ever, you wouldn't expect him to say penis. So anyway, he's
I have never heard the word penis mentioned more in my life than right now.
Sorry. I got so many more.
It's a lot of penis.
So, anyway, he's telling the story, and he's like, it was a penis. And we're like, was it porn? Like, did they throw it out? Was it a picture? And he's like, no, it's real life penis.
Is this the hand movement and everything, or is that just you?
No, I feel like he like had to, like remember that suck it thing? Like, I feel like showing.
I do remember. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad you guys are here.
I got plenty of more stories where that came from. I'm done with the penis one.
Okay, well yeah, you should drink after that, I think. I'm glad you finished that up.
Gotcha.
Just means the rest of this is going to get even more entertaining. So, Laurie, have you had any customers that have come in that have whipped it out? Or
No, we haven't anybody whip it out. No. We do have one that comes in that just wears a trench coat and underwear, which is weird.
Oh, so it's coming close. It's getting close.
But yeah, he'll come in a trench coat, underwear, shoes.
That's it?
That's it.
And you know that how?
Because he's shown himself to people.
Little leg action.
Oh, little leg action. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he's shown himself, I wanted to clarify.
Himself. Oh, they've thrown him out of the store a bunch of times.
Yeah.
He comes in for them free samples, So
I love free samples.
So do I. I don't blame him.
No.
Sometimes it's the only reason to go into a store.
Yeah. But yeah, he's been a hoot. Mm-hmm.
So how have you guys felt navigating all of this? I mean, have you felt safe? Are you doing things to protect yourselves? I know that you're basically hanging out with each other. So that helps.
We've been pretty together. Well, I mean, the first couple months we really didn't do much together. We Zoomed a lot. What was the house party?
The house party app.
We did the house party app a lot where we played games all
I also
together.
want you to know they also had trivia on that. And
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty fucking good at that.
I got invited to none of this, so.
Well, we'll invite you now. Well, now we hang out.
Now we can see.
I mean, it's
in real
pretty
life.
much, yeah.
Apparently, I'm not cool enough to have friends that want to invite me to those things.
We invite you to stuff.
To like real things, but like, house party apps. I'm like, what? That's new to me.
All right, so download the app, and then we can play games.
There's all kinds of games you could play, and you see each other on the screen. There's a drawing game
You know
that's
what?
hilarious.
You know what? Too late. Okay, too freaking late.
It's not cool anymore.
We don't play it anymore because we're hanging out.
That phase is
sorry.
I missed that phase. That was phase 1.
Phase 1.
We're in like phase 15.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now we go out in public.
Yeah. How have those encounters been?
I have a lot of good ones.
Walmart's been crazy.
Walmart is always crazy.
Not
I have 2
gonna lie.
stories.
Wait a minute, I'm talking first.
Whoa.
Walmart's been
My
crazy.
stories include her.
Excuse me, sir. I'm talking. Like it's like we're in the debates here.
Yeah. That whole follow the arrow thing. Thank God some places have pulled it up and some places still have it down. Nobody follows the arrow.
Nobody follows it. It's true. I was following it at Walmart, and I was getting so frustrated with people who were not. Because I swear to God, there was one day, because you guys know, I've been doing all the shopping for my parents, and then my grandmother, and then myself now. Mm-hmm. So that's 3 trips in sometimes one day to Walmart, like right back to back to back. It's a chore.
I wouldn't be able to handle that.
This one day, I mean, this was like relatively like in the heat of everything. Swear to God, these 2 ladies, it's almost as if they had never gone to a store before in their life. They didn't know where anything was, and they were following me the opposite direction, each aisle, and they kept getting in my way. And I, like, at one point, I knew I was mumbling to myself, but I had headphones in, and I was like, I gotta take one of these bitches out, or I'm gonna end up actually taking one of these bitches out. Like, it's not gonna be good. So that's mine.
Yeah. All right, Kel, what do you got?
Yeah, you have 2 stories.
I have 2 stories that involve Laurie, because I have a lot of ridiculous ideas that I think are good ideas. Mm-hmm. But
the hair is always one of them. The hair always looks like this, guys. It is
something.
Well,
it is fab.
she's always different color.
I know, it's always fab.
All right, so I would say 90% of my real life struggles would be resolved if I had a truck.
True story.
Yeah, I need a pickup truck. So I have a hatchback. Clearly, it's really little. So I had this idea. I needed corn stalks.
Sugar daddies take notice.
I need a pickup truck. All right, I needed corn stalks. I don't even know how tall corn stalks are. I didn't measure myself against them. I have no idea. We're going to go get corn stalks. Oh my God, we'll just take my car. I fit them in my car before. They must have been shorter corn stalks. To preset this story, they were definitely shorter corn stalks.
Yeah, don't give me spoilers. Come on, keep going.
So we went to a place up the hill, and we got them. And I was like, I'm going to buy 2 of them. 2 huge bushels of them, okay? I got them in my arms. I'm like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Laurie's like, do you want to go get my car? I was like, no, we're going to do this right now.
Granted, I have an SUV, and if she wanted to get corn stalks, we probably should have just took my car, but
we're going to fit them in my car.
They're going in my car.
So pulls up next to us. There's a car next to us. I wasn't really paying attention. Anyway, there's a little kid standing over there. He's like, hey! I was like, no, that kid from school. So now you're going to watch me put this shit in my car. So we opened my passenger side door, and I had the windows down. So I rolled the window down.
All the windows.
Just in case we needed to. So then,
just in case?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then
all the windows.
I'm like, Laurie, go stand on the other side. So she's on the driver's side back door.
Okay.
Also window down. So I shoved them to her.
Through the window.
Through the window.
Okay.
And then also had to do the other one. So then we're all in the car now. So they had to sit in the back seat. And we're driving. And then Laurie made it a Facebook Live because she was like, just another day with Kelly.
It's always an adventure.
Which I think you need the theme music that I came up with for my mom because we were, when the pandemic first started, her and I just kept walking like everybody else. We just kept walking. We had no end in sight. It was just let's just keep going.
Yep.
But when we would hit like a cul-de-sac or a circle, she would always take that inner circle because it's shorter. So I started calling her Shortcut Sharon.
That's great.
But Shortcut Sharon talks like this. And she's like, why do I take more steps when I can take fewer? I'm Shortcut Sharon. So you need to be, you're like your Instagram handle of WTF Kelly.
Exactly.
So it works still.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
right,
shortcuts.
Right. All right, so then I have this other story. story.
Okay.
So this was last weekend.
I'm not in control.
Oh, I already know how this is going.
Last weekend. I just want to say
I was with her again, just so you know.
Of course.
I think I'm 5'3", 5'5" with hair sometimes, give or take.
You're
a few
not 5'5".
inches with hair, Marissa.
Okay.
Sometimes if I have
All
a
right.
big bun on top of my head, sometimes I could be 5'5".
She wasn't 5'5" that day.
She's not 5'5".
Sometimes I
Not
got
that
big
day.
shoes on. You never know. So she and I were like, oh, we got to go get a shelf for the garage. We cleaned out the garage. We're gonna make a like a bar because
I'd give you one, but I broke it.
It's so weird. I had the same one, broke it also, but
Okay.
not from me sitting on it.
Well,
So they don't sell shelves anymore. Apparently, like everyone's buying them. Like no toilet paper, no shelves. Like so, there's one, and there's a couple. They were like shitty.
We
And
need heavy duty.
I needed real life big shelf. There's one, and it's huge. And I had my dad's car. I didn't take my car.
I'm just, you know,
real life
I'm,
Are you still thinking about
yeah,
real
real
life
life penis in my head. No,
Huge.
sorry.
moved
Yeah, I know.
on to shelves.
We've moved on to shelves. I'm still back at that. Well,
Stalks,
I'm catching
shelving
up.
units now.
Catching
Thank
up.
you.
We're out
Okay.
of penis.
No. Yeah, I'm catching up.
It's sold out. So I have this huge shelf. It's on the ground. And I have my dad's Equinox, okay? So I was
Okay.
like, oh, I have a little bit more space to throw
I got
things,
this. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I call him, I'm like, Dad, I know you know, like, how big the car is, blah, blah. He's like, I don't know, maybe, like, it's a little bit more than 6 feet if you put the thing down, blah, blah. I was like, all right, cool, got this. Laurie, I'm gonna lay on the floor at Home Depot right now.
Lori, she didn't have this, did she?
We're at Home Depot. She's laying on the floor.
I laid on the floor.
In the middle of Home Depot.
Right, so that's the way you measured.
Duh.
But you do realize that you were at Home Depot where they have measuring items.
No, but
No,
I
no,
was
no.
not
We
near
don't
it.
have time.
There was
No, there's
people-
there's no time.
There's
No
no,
time.
no,
No
there was
time.
No,
time.
because you know what, Marissa?
What?
There's a guy walking up and down the aisle eyeing the shelf that we're eyeing. 'Cause we have the last one.
Oh.
So I laid on the floor and then said, Laurie,
And claimed it.
Yes.
you're staying right here. I'm going to go find random people at Home Depot to help us.
Nobody in sight.
No. So I walked over to the carpet department. I feel like we got a lot going on here.
We do.
So there's like 15 of them fucking hanging out the carpet department. And I'm like, you guys tied to this place, or do you think you can help me with the biggest box you have in the store?
Which is, everything that just came out of your mouth, I know actually came out of your mouth. There's no hesitation
Oh, yeah.
in me believing that whatsoever.
Yeah, 100%.
Continue.
That happened. So these two guys, one was like scrawny, like, dude, I'll get the box. Don't worry. He got the cart. That was very nice of him. So he brought it over. Him and this other little buff guy. They picked it up, and he's like, first of all, he's like, oh, it's gonna be really heavy. And I was like, I'll do it if you fucking want me to, right?
Yeah, they
So,
were struggling.
Anyway, they got it on this top thing, right? And then so now I'm trying to push this thing
Well, wait.
because we had other
We
shit.
have to rewind.
Why?
Because the guy that was eyeing the shelf asked the guy if there was another one in the store, and he zapped it, and I'm like, just so you know, this is like Black Friday, this is ours. So you can just move right on.
Oh boy.
And he was like,
oh boy.
Lay on the floor at
Okay.
Home Depot
Yikes.
for this. Okay?
We thought there were just fights over toilet paper during the pandemic. No.
Shelves.
Shelving units.
Okay.
So then anyway, we're like wheeling to the thing, and there's this random minute self-checkout. I'm like, we have way too much for a self-checkout. I'm making her carry random things, and he's like, oh, ding, 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 scanned everything
Scanned
for
everything
us.
right. He was great.
And I was like, all right, guys, you guys just stay here. If I need your help, I'll come back and find you, apparently, because we'll
Nobody
just put
helped
it in
us.
the car ourselves.
Nobody
And
even
I
offered.
Clearly
Wow.
caused a ruckus about it as I'm walking out the store, because that's just what I do.
Yep.
And anyway, there's a man in the parking lot next to us. He's fixing his fantasy football lineup. He told me afterwards. It's the only reason why I know.
And he had a Steelers shirt on,
Yeah,
so I was
she
into
loving
that.
Okay.
So anyway, we got it in the damn car.
Okay, just want to also preface that Lori has a boyfriend. Continue.
Oh, yeah, I do.
I don't, in case you're wondering.
Sugar daddies.
Gotta be under a certain age, though, right? I got that age limit thing.
Yeah, we got another story about that anyway.
So we got it in the car. It was a little bit of a ruckus. Whatever, we did it. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry, guy. Like, I'm blocking your way to get out of the car. He's like, it's all right, just fixing my fantasy football lineup. I was like, all right, cool, I already did mine. See you later. Have a good day. And then that was it. That was
We
it.
went home, and then,
So it fit in the car.
yeah,
Some
we got it.
way, shape, or form.
We got it in there.
Figured it
Wow.
out. Yeah.
So you're not just a complete disaster all the time.
No. I have method to my madness. Come on.
Just checking. So what kind of disasters do you think are coming next for you?
I don't know. It really depends on the day. We'll see what happens. What other brilliant ideas
Anything
I
can
have.
happen. Anything.
The day is still young.
We're gonna build a bar.
We're gonna build a bar. You'll have to
that-
come to the house.
Maybe tomorrow we'll go to Home Depot again.
I don't think you should go to Home
Can't
Depot again.
wait.
Oh, we'll have Dan with us. It'll be fine.
Okay, if you say so. Ladies, thank you so much for being a part of this. this mess that you know what? I better get off of this thing before this one breaks too.
Yeah.
Oh man. So that was Kelly and Laurie. As you can see, we had absolutely no fun whatsoever. But you can check out some bonus stuff, including the trivia video that we did that we were kind of mentioning a little bit at the social media accounts. So if you head over to Facebook or Instagram, just search Hello from Mars podcast, and that is up there. And it's ridiculous, but that's why there's bonus features, guys. So recently, I had a really bad job interview because we are in the middle of a weird time. And while I'm somebody who has worked in the radio industry for a very long time, and I was about to start a new job back in March, and then that fell through, and then there were other opportunities that had come up and were kind of dangled in front of me for a while, for like 3 whole months. And then they hired within. It's always a blast. So I feel like it's time to introduce a brand new segment, which is called this.
It's time to wine with Wine Time.
Yeah, this is where I should be popping a bottle of wine, I think, but we'll save that for future episodes. So I've been trying to think of other things that I'm like highly passionate about, because radio jobs are very few and far between right now. I'm not going to go and pack up and move for anything that's going to get furloughed or not exist in like a month or so. So I'm trying to stay local. I'm trying to stay happy, and I'm trying to just have something that's going to have some money coming in. And maybe it is a new career path in a way. Kind of hoping this will be. Please subscribe. But I ended up going to a veterinary hospital. And I'm not going to name names, but I will say this. It went fantastic, the first interview, right? Like, I went and I talked to them for like an hour. I had the girl laughing. You know, she asked why this, because I've been doing this, and I had all the answers. So they had me come in a few days later for the second interview. And what I was told was, you know, we'll have you come in for a couple hours on Friday morning, and we'll have you shadow one of the girls so you can see the day-to-day tasks. Okay, cool. That's totally simple. I'm getting there at 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, I'll be out of there by like 9:30, 10, no problem. This will be simple. I get there, everything's cool, right? So like, go take the tour of the building. I see everything. I'm doing exactly what they said. I'm shadowing the girl up front. I'm watching her make appointments, take phone calls, change things. Then about 9:30 hits, or 9 o'clock. And she's like, okay, I'm going to go over here. Follow me. So we go to this small room, right? And she starts making these phone calls to remind patients of appointments that are coming up. She's like a few in. And next thing I know, she turns to me and she's like, hey, how about you try the next few? And I'm like, I don't work here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, if you're going to throw somebody to the wolves, I mean, maybe train them. Like, I don't know, maybe already have like what they're supposed to say printed out. She didn't, by the way. Maybe tell them ahead of time so they can wrap their head around it. Like, I'm legit thinking I'm supposed to be there just watching, because that's what I was told. And by the way, now it's getting closer to like 10 o'clock. I should be out of there soon, right? So I'm like, I guess, yeah, okay. She said a few. I did 10. Not just a few. I did 10. And I'm like leaving messages on people's voicemails of like, hi, I'm Marissa from veterinary hospital. I am not Marissa from this veterinary hospital. I do not work there. So I finish all of those calls. And it's now getting close to 11 o'clock, and I had another interview coming up at 1:30 that afternoon, and I still had to go home, get out of like scrub clothes, and have lunch and like get myself to downtown Albany. And I'm like, any idea how long like you're gonna need me for? Because I was told a couple hours. And she's like, oh, okay. She leaves, she comes back, all of a sudden everything's done. I haven't heard from them since. I'm like, you're gonna make me jump through hoops for like this entry-level job and then not call me? So yeah, little peeved about that. I know I'm not the only one who's had just crappy interviews and crappy experiences. In fact, I had posted it on my Instagram account, and I got a couple of these, and then Mark actually left me a voice memo, and I want to share his story because his is just as bad. But Kitty Cat 1, She had a second interview a day after getting her palate expander in. She was 29 years old, and honestly, I think at any age, that's incredibly painful. So sorry about that, kitty cat. Ashley X692 says that she was asked what political party she belonged to. Pretty sure that's one of those questions that's just supposed to say out of life in general, isn't it? And Dave Wheeler 1024, he's a radio guy too, and I guess post-interview, the program director had called him 3 months later and says that he reached the bottom of the barrel. Do you want the job? That's like saying, hey, I'm not really a fan of you or anything about you actually, but nobody else wants the gig, do you? It's awful. So, Mark, how did your interview go? Tell us what happened.
A little over a year ago, I go in for this temp agency job for like a warehouse administrator job. And I show up in a shirt and tie, and the recruiter, business casual, started laughing at me. She said, "You don't need to get dressed up for this interview." Not realizing how offensive that comes off when you look for an interview, you want to dress for the job you want, not the job that you're currently applying for, if that makes any sense. I sit down and she couldn't stop laughing at how overdressed I was for this interview. And I walked out of the interview at the end of it, almost feeling like below myself, like, why did I even bother going to this interview? If this is a representation of their company, why would I want to work for it if they think and devalue somebody getting dressed up for an interview? I
gotta be honest, I feel like that kind of says a lot more about her and her her dislike for her own job than it does for you. So yeah, always dress for the job you want. Don't go in like sweatpants and stuff, because then you're probably just gonna, I don't even know what job that would be. I mean, if you want to work in a gym, I guess it makes sense. And I'm not going to knock anybody for that, because personal trainers are awesome. But cool, we're going to have more opportunities for you guys to be a part of the podcasts as we keep on rolling. But make sure you're watching all of the social media accounts for different questions that pop up that you can be a part of. Before I end this, I just want to end it on a positive note as we are entering a very busy, very stressful holiday time, especially this year, because nobody really knows how to celebrate or do we celebrate? What do we do? So as we are navigating this time and all the time, we are people that tend to focus more on the negative. I was kind of hitting on this last episode too, where it's like you've got somebody like The Weeknd, performer, has had a wildly successful year when a lot of people haven't been able to do really any of the norm. Biggest album, all these AMAs and VMAs, and he's going to play the Super Bowl. And next thing you know, he's focused on the fact he didn't get a Grammy nomination. I get it. It's, it hurts when stuff, like bad stuff happens. But the more we focus on it, the more our brain is like trained to react to that kind of stuff. And the more you actually focus on the good, the more your brain focuses on it like naturally. So do yourself the favor this week and in life in general, and just start focusing more on the good stuff that is around you. There's always good, even in the darkest times. There's that little glimmer of light. So just train your brain to focus on the good, and you'll start feeling better for it. We got more coming up from Hello from Mars coming up next week, guys. So I will talk to you then. Be good to each other. Oh, hey.